All right, hello, what's up, Coding Club? Exciting times here as always. I'm really excited because I finally spent some time over the break doing some research, messing around with our coding projects. So we got some new stuff to look forward to in the next few days. The first thing is I want to design a Coding Club page for us, and I've been looking into hosting sites online. Turns out it's only going to cost a couple bucks to actually get the site up. So I'm hoping that we can figure out, it's probably going to be hard to figure out exactly how to do it. That's going to be a struggle, but I'm hoping we can get going with that project here soon. So that's coming on. The goal is to have, a home page and then a link to everybody's individual pages who wants to put one up there. So that's going to be exciting, a development. That'll kind of be our long-term project that we're working on. In the short term today, I wanted to go over a couple of things that I learned when just reading through. I just sat down and I ground through a bunch of W3 school stuff and I took notes. And I learned a few things that are probably that I didn't know before that are useful. So let's just go over some vocabulary. Element right here, that's the content of a site enclosed between tags. So when we're talking about things or when you're reading online, an element is like the head. There's the head. There's a title, right? A link, right? All of these things right here are elements. Okay. A attribute is something that modifies an element and is contained within the tag themselves. Okay, we put the attributes in lowercase always. So usually we're going to use CSS to modify kind of the look and the style attributes, but something like this, this is a new one from today, paragraph ID equals math script. So the ID right here, that's an attribute of the paragraph element. Okay, so there's that. Headings, yes, we kind of know about those. Styles, similar to attributes and what they accomplish, but they have a specific syntax, right? So we kind of have that. We use the style we use the style command right here, and then its properties. So that might be like text size or font color or font name, something like that, and then colon value. So you might say text color colon red, something like that, right? So those are styles. And then if you want to X out a command, so if you want something to not be executed by the browser, you just throw an exclamation point in front of it and it won't be read, right? So that just tells the browser, hey, ignore this. So let's see, we'll give a quick example of that in just a sec. Let me show you the very, very basic page I got going right now for the Coding Club. And here is the source code right here. Let's see what happens when I just X out the head right here. Okay, welcome to the MSCP Coding Club page. Let's see what happens if I just put an exclamation point right here in front of the head, and I go ahead and save that, and then I refresh the page. Look at that. Okay, now that stuff is still there, but it's no longer a heading 1. It's no longer a part of a heading. It's just normal text, right? So this heading 1 got X'd out right there. All right, so that's how you deactivate elements that you don't want anymore. So let's go ahead and get rid of that, and we'll see it come back to its full glory. Control S to save it, and then we'll refresh the page. All right, there we go. So here's kind of the structure I'm thinking. Welcome, we meet Wednesdays after school, right? Just a little introductory message. Member pages, click each picture or link or go to member pages. So we'll have like our member pages right here, pictures of you guys or whatever icons you want, and a link that the people can click on to go to your specific page that you develop. Then here is our projects right here. So the project we've done so far that I'm most excited about, and I want you guys to really work on, is the quadratic solver. I know everyone's made the quadratic solver, but I don't think I've seen anyone make yet a Pythagorean theorem solver, right? So that is my challenge to you guys for today, or for the foreseeable future, is to get a Pythagorean theorem solver to work. Okay, so my goal for today, the next thing I really want to get into, is embedding more JavaScript into our pages and using JavaScript in general to run scripts and do cool things. So right here, I set up a button that will run our quadratic solver script, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and where I got some of the codes and ideas from on W3. So anyway, sort of a rambling video, but anyways, I don't know why I said that. Here we go. Where are we? Okay, so this is it right here. This is the button that runs the quadratic solver. So I click that button, and you can see it pops up. What's coefficient A? Let's just do 4, 4, 4, and it's going to tell me it's not a number because apparently that is not a function that is solvable. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see. Well, let's try 1, enter 1, enter, and negative 10. This should work. Okay, there you go. So there's root 1 is 2.7, blah, 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 and negative 3.7. Okay, so there's our, so you can see my quadratic solver function runs whenever I click this button. So to do a button right here, it's under the heading 2 right here, and it's button, and then it says type equals button, and then on click, right, that's the command for what to do when the button's clicked. We're going to do quadratic solver, okay, and then I put these 2 empty parentheses around, and then click here to run the quadratic solver. That is the text of the button right there. So the button element is contained within this right here, and there's the end of the element. This is the button content, right? So click here to run the quadratic solver. You could see it right there. So we have our element and then our modifiers. What are those called? Attributes. On click, we want to run the quadratic solver. So then if you come down here, right here, text/JavaScript function quadratic solver. So then you can see I have right here a script, and I contained that script within script tags, and I called it function quadratic solver, right? So you can see this right here is exactly the same as this right here, right? So it's referring to go down and find this function right here, quadratic solver. There you go. All right. So then it grinds through this code, which is in the brackets right there. The function is the code that we wrote last time. You can go ahead and review that YouTube video for the quadratic solver right there. And you know how I did that. So that's how the button works for that one. All right. So there's a button that will activate a script. Buttons can do all kinds of, oh no, oh, that was probably okay. Okay, no script, no script. Let's see, let's make this a little bigger. Okay, so if you go right here to JavaScript, you can learn about a lot of cool button stuff and different things it can do. You know, for example, you can change texts. I know Miranda's messed around with that. You can change font sizes. You can change colors. You can change pictures. You can do a lot of different things with this whole thing. Okay, so that's how buttons work. Let me show you one other cool thing and one other thing that's really important in order to get a lot of buttons to work. And that is the get element by ID tag. So check out this function right here. Document.getElement by ID, and then we have a bunch of stuff. Okay, so what this does is it goes to an element within the code that you specify earlier. So for instance, now this isn't working perfectly, but I wanted to mouse over the image to see a different type of power plant. Now, unfortunately, I've been able to get it to work completely. I kind of am running short on time, so I'm going to troubleshoot this later. But if you check it out, you can see right here, when I mouse over this image, it's supposed to become another image, but instead it's giving me the alternative text. Okay, so something's not working perfectly, but it's somewhat working. So let me show you what is going on in the code that does that. Coding clip. Okay, so right here. So what I have right here is I have this. Mouse over the image to see a different type of power plant. And we can see right there. Mouse over the image to see a different type of power plant. And then I have my image tag. Where is it? Image. Okay, and within that image, I embedded an ID of power plant. Okay, and then I have my usual source, alternative, alignment, all that stuff. within the image ID tag. Then right here, I have a script that runs right here. And it's get document.getElement by ID. And the ID that I specify is PowerPlant. So it says, okay, whenever we find this, we go up here to this image right here. So I'm calling that element down again. So now the function I'm using is .onMouseOver right here. So whenever I mouse over that thing, it's saying, okay, go to this mouse over function right here. And then I call that up again. I say document.getElement by ID PowerPoint. And then I say .source. This ending part right here. So here I'm calling up the PowerPlant element, which it knows is an image. It knows all this information about the PowerPlant element. Then this modifier at the end is the tricky one and the one that really controls what the thing does. So this is saying .source. So I'm basically saying go in and modify the source of the image to this one right here. And then on mouse out, it's supposed to change it back. Now this is not working for me exactly, but it kind of works. It works once at least. The mouse out hasn't worked yet, but when I mouse over, right, it changes it and it gives me my alternative text because it can't find the original. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, where did I find that on HD3? Right here. So I found that right here on mouse over. If you go right here and you look at the on mouse over, you can find some examples of how to use this, and you can try it for yourself, and you can copy and paste the codes into your website to try to get them working for you. So anyways, the number one goal I would love to see is for us as a club to get we have the quadratic solver. I made that one. I would love for you guys to get the what do you call it? I can't even think right now. To get the Pythagorean theorem solver going. I haven't seen anyone do that yet, and I'm not going to make it for you guys. We got to figure out how to make that code and then hopefully embed it within a button. So the goal for the next few weeks is to get better at using buttons. I'm counting myself in that because I'm just starting to scratch the surface of how to use it, and to get better at coding things in JavaScript like that Pythagorean theorem solver. Okay, so anyways, a long video today. We covered a few topics, but anyways, I'm excited about the next few months of coding. I think we're going to take it to the next level for sure, and we're going to get the website up and running, and that's going to be great. So anyways, thanks for being here and watching the video, and we'll talk soon.